Welcome to the Illuminated Path, where I give you a Thursday to Thursday reading. And I'm deeper in the woods today than I have been. Now that it's a little cooler, the mosquitoes aren't quite like a horde of dragons trying to kill for their dinner. And I had this amazing experience as I was sitting here about to do this reading. Actually, a couple of amazing experiences, these synchronicities that tie this word in together so you know that this is something special, that regardless of what the message ends up being, whether it's something complex or whether it's something simple, that it's meant for you and it was brought about in a very special way. So first, last night I had a dream, a vision of a type of reading to do today, and it involves my shaman's deck and a very specific kind of layout where we're going from the south to the west to the north to the east and a focus card. Like I saw the whole vision as I'm laying there trying to sleep. So I knew that that was going to be the reading I did today. And as I reached under, because I have all of my decks in one little basket under my cabinet, as I reached back, my shaman deck happened to be the very last one in the basket. So I reached all the way to the back, and as I pulled it out, another deck of cards flung out, a smaller deck, and I heard a rattle, so I knew that something else had fallen back behind the shelf at the same time. And the deck that fell out was this one, in this little white bag, and I was like, I don't think I've read from this deck. I don't even really recognize this deck, and I've never read from it before, and it is a Celtic rune deck, interestingly. And so I'm like, okay, well, maybe Spirit really wants me to read from this deck, and I had to get to my shaman cards to know I even had this deck to read from. So I go under, and I'm under the cabinet to look for whatever it was that fell, because I heard that rattle when this deck came out, and I knew something else fell. And when I pull it out, guess what was back there? My bone runes, of course. So it's meant to be. Maybe I'll do that other reading another time. But for today, you're getting a rune and a rune card pull. And that's just what we're doing. And that was synchronicity number 1. Synchronicity number 2 is I'm sitting here, I'm getting myself situated. I decided to come further out into the woods than normal. And as I sit down, I put this blanket out and I have my runes and the sun hits my face and I had this overwhelming sense of deja vu. And I remembered a vision that I had, it had to have been over a year ago, possibly even 2 years ago. I had a vision of me sitting in the woods reading runes in the middle of a weekday. And at the time that I had that vision or that dream or whatever it was, I remember I woke up from that dream a year or two ago and I was like, in what universe would I ever be out in the middle of the woods on a random Thursday in the middle of the day reading cards or pulling runes? Because that does not fit into my schedule or my lifestyle. And then here we are a year or two later, and this is exactly what I'm doing in the middle of a weekday. And the birds are singing beautifully for you. So what a beautiful day. What a beautiful day. We're going to pull your rune first. So I'm feeling all of your beautiful energies. And the rune that's coming out for you, is this one. I think this is called Dagaz. I'm not sure if it goes this way or this way. I think it goes this way. But when I pull this particular rune, this is success. This is a positive outcome. I know when I see this that there is something secure and stabilizing that is about to happen, where maybe all of those worries and fears are slowly starting to edge their way out. And even in the midst of whatever storm or chaos you're going through or that the world's going through, you're able to find some sort of enjoyment, positivity, security, roots within yourself. So this is a positive, successful kind of rune. So let's see what cards we get to go along with this particular message. got two. So the first one, the first card here is the Jera card. And this particular card you can see how it looks split. Like there is light colored flowers and dark colored flowers, but then on the other side there's thorns, or what looks like thorns. And it's up on this tree, but the tree is very pointy and there's lightning that's hitting the top of the tree. See, there's a little lightning bolt right there, almost like this is a lightning rod. So what I'm feeling off of this particular card, especially just feeling into the energies of the collective, is that we have really come over the hump. And I think I touched on this last week as well, because when you're doing weekly readings, you almost have to overlap a little bit because time doesn't move that fast. It just doesn't. Energy changes take time. But there was a time when you could not see change. There was a time when you felt negative, low, stuck. You weren't sure how to get out of the rut you were in, and you were just stuck in that space. And when we are stuck in that space, there's only two things to really do. Number one is to embrace it and think to yourself, okay, this immobility, this inability to move forward, to make change, to feel different, is an opportunity for me to be introspective, to look around at myself, my habits, my lifestyle, and see where I need to make changes. If I feel stuck, am I moving my body appropriately? Am I eating appropriately? Is my mind thinking positive thoughts? Am I allowing myself to think and have an internal dialogue that is in alignment with the positivity that I want? Because you can say all day long that you want to be happy, that you want to be healthy, that you want to be joyful, but if your day-to-day thoughts are not joyful, if your day-to-day thoughts are negative or self-depreciating, then you're not going to ever reach that space. You're stuck. You can see where you want to go, but physically there's no energy moving towards that. So this card to me feels like that space where you see where you want to go, but you're not creating the energy to move in that way. And let me look this up in the little booklet that came with it, since I don't read from this deck very often. Jera. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so I'm actually going to read both of these because Jera is here, but the card before it is here. And I really love what the one before it says before I move to the second one. Okay. A major obstacle in the way of progress. Some of the more damaging, uncontrollable, suppressive aspects of the world around us. Stillness and inertia, or the termination of a relationship, according to powerful, inexorable forces beyond the subject's control. One may be frustrated in an attempt at changing things, with a consequent loss of dynamism. There's no possibility of change in circumstances. Projects underway are likely to experience a general slowing down. But then this particular card says, a change for the better, success in business, good return on investment, good payment for work done in the past, such as royalties, refers to matters connected with recompense or damages owed, the collecting of dues or receipts of payment. Girlfriend, let me tell you, so when you're stuck in that space where you're seeing that thing in front of you, but you're not making active change, so you're stuck, this is what this card is talking about. You have to start creating the inertia to get where you want to be. And this is not for nothing. This is not for naught, darling. You may feel stuck at times, even if you are making active change, where you are exercising, where you are eating healthy foods, where you are doing your daily meditations where you are actively seeking a relationship with nature and with spirit and with yourself, and it still feels like nothing around you is changing. This says some royalties are coming. Something's coming due. All of that action wasn't for naught. So I'm seeing two things here. We're over that hump of where we felt disconnected from the future and where we're going, where we felt like we couldn't achieve those things and we're trapped, and where maybe we have been taking that action, but we still felt there was no change or movement. And this card says those things are coming due. The second card is the Ing card. And this has a beautiful yellow light on it with a snake going down between the rocks. This, I guarantee you, this, I just feel it. This feels like this: positive, success, change, security. Let me look it up in the book. Ing, where you at? The satisfactory completion of one stage of progress and the beginning of the next, even better one. The realization of a lifelong ambition. Activities involving integration, cooperation, and unification are favored, including the duties of benefit, life-changing events, freedom from worries. This feels like a future. So this feels like old places you were stuck in, places where you've been putting either no energy and needed to make a change, or putting lots of energy and still not seeing change. And then this feels like we're over that hump. Now we get to be successful. We're feeling that security beginning to happen. And then this one, this feels like where we're stepping into, where now the world is unified. There's a wholeness happening, a peace, a joy, where everything's just flowing and beautiful. Baby, you got royalties coming your way. I want you to just pay attention to that and claim it. Claim your royalties, boo.